Okay, so yesterday when we went live for Nancy's show for our Sacred Feminine, it took a good 6 to 5 or 5 to 6 seconds for at least my notification to drop that we went live. So I do see I have a couple people, and it says I have two in the eye. So hello, Selena, my dear. Hello, Janet Lee. Thank you for joining me. I love doing pop-ups. I know a lot of people like to do pre-recorded videos, and um, I wish I could really get into those, but I just really enjoy coming online and chatting with everybody. It's probably because I don't have a regular job, so I'm early retirement, so I have a little extra time on my hands during the day to do pop-ups, but. So yes, welcome, welcome. And I'm just like, I would have spent more money today. I almost did well, first of all, I went to Sound Peace today, which is a metaphysical store in town. Um, I wish it would do a little more in the way of providing witchy tools, pagan tools, things of that nature. They seem to try to keep a balance when it comes to, they have their tarot section and they have their books in different subjects, and then they'll have a few, statues for the goddess, but most of it's kind of balanced between um, the Hindu pantheon, the Christian pantheon. But I would love to see more Celt in Norway and other good stuff. But anyway, um, I almost got a couple. If anybody's not aware, Llewellyn has a couple of their books out for 2026 already. One for the basically the Witch's Wheel of the Year, celebrating the Sabbats. Hello, Fatima, my dear. Um, and yes, I knew you were working, so gotcha, girl. Thanks for popping on and watching. Even I got to send some wonderful pictures today to Selena of some La Catrinas that I saw downtown. And it's like now when I see them, I'm like, I know what those are. So I asked the gentleman in the store permission to take photos, and he was very kind and obliged me. And yeah, I was saying something a second ago, but that's completely left me. So we'll move on to the next. So we were downtown today for some ice cream and to pay on a few credit cards. And oh, you're welcome, my dear. And I, told you, oh, that's right. I was talking about Sound Peace. So there were a couple of books by Llewellyn. Um, I'm going to probably get those maybe next month. They were only 15 each, so they both would have been about 30 because they don't charge sales tax here in Oregon. So, but yeah, I've been getting back into reading again in my books, and it takes me a while to read. As I've gotten older, I think with like we were talking about on Monday, yesterday with menopause, sometimes your memory starts to, go, and sometimes you have to reread stuff, and you get a little bit of a fog, and people talk about a COVID fog. I had COVID a long time ago. I think it was 2022 that I had it. So, well, 3 years. That's been long enough for me. Um, and of course, medication I take, everything affects your body. Um, and so for me, it takes a while to read a book because I'm reading and rereading paragraphs so that I can understand what they're saying. And then, sometimes like a dog, 2 minutes later, squirrel, and then it's gone. But I've been enjoying my reading. So we went to, like I said, downtown Ashland today, and I went to my favorite bookstore that I keep talking about. So I found some books I saw I liked at Sound Peace, full price, another day for those. But also the Ashland Book Exchange. They have new books too, and so they charge full price. But you walk in and it smells so good. You're walking into this nice little bookstore, and it's got carpet, it's got some chairs, and they have their little different sections, and they even sell tarot decks there. And they keep those behind the desk because some of them are used, but they look really good. condition, and you can, take books in that you no longer read and get some credit for it. So, but today I told Shan I want to go in, and I haven't been in a while. I'm still working on the other three books I got the last time. But I'm so excited. So, oh, it was Janet. So, yes, the Book Exchange. It's used. So I'll just show you the bookmark. You can buy, sell, or trade bargain prices, and it was established a year after I was born. So, wow, I didn't realize that. So I'm going to be 55 this year. So this bookstore's been around for 54 years. Can you imagine? So the ladies are wonderful, and I have a couple titles. They said I can call, and when they come in, they can call me. So I'm going to be calling them a little bit later, either today or they might be actually closing within the next hour or so, or tomorrow with some Starhawk titles and maybe a couple of DJ Conway books. So hello, Magic with Moonlight. How are you? Now I know there's Magic. Okay, so this is Shay, because there's another Moonlight that I know. So I'm making sure I have the right. I'm making sure I have the right person. And of course, too, last week's little faux pas when I called the Seven of Swords, the Five of Swords. I transposed two a little bit lately, so that's why I have to reread and make sure I understand and look at what I'm reading and understanding. But so I hope everyone's having a great start to their week. They're having a great day. So a quick little sip. My sweetie made me some tea. So just really quick, I had some ice cream today, and this place had a flavor that I knew a flavor that I decided to try. Jamaican rum almond chocolate. Oh, good Lord. That was rich. It was good, but whew, not again. Unless it's like tiny little baby scoop, But that was yummy, let me tell you. So I had my ice cream. So I went in, and this was like the last book I thought of at the last minute. And I asked her, I go, do you keep record? Because sometimes these bookstores, they have so many books, it's almost impossible to keep track of what they actually have in inventory. But the woman said, no. She goes, we've got everything here in the computer. What are you looking for? And I said, do you have this book? And she did. Vasily Kandinsky's Concerning the Spiritual in Art. And Kandinsky was a modern artist at the turn of the century. He looked at color as music. There's some wonderful little documentaries on him and how certain colors made him think of different instruments, especially back in those days. And so he really his play of color, and then his gradual breakdown of shapes and forms to just their bare minimal, where you can barely recognize, to complete modern. He's kind of almost like considered like the grandfather of modern art. And so he wrote this little book back in the day on his own theories of painting. And I love this. He says Kandinsky's ideas are presented in two parts. The first part, called About General Aesthetic, issues a call for a spiritual revolution in painting that will let artists express their own inner lives in abstract, non-material terms. So, already he's going for the spiritual, he's going for the intuitive, he's going for the abstract, he's going for the color. And I was like, oh, man after my own heart. But, and it says here, just as musicians do not depend upon the material world for their music, so artists should not have to depend on the material world for their art. And there's like a part of psychology when it comes to colors, the language of form and color. So just really, yeah. And it was originally called Über das Geistige in der Kunst. I hope I got some of that right. Too bad Hannah wasn't in here. She's in Germany, so she can maybe give me a thumbs up, thumbs down on how I got that. But yes, so I'm so excited after all these years to be able to find this book. And the only thing is, it's a book on art and color, and there's what? No color. There's no color in it except on the front cover. So that's that one. So yay! I got my Kandinsky. Excited, excited. So, and I thank everybody for hanging out with me and enjoying this with me. Because I'm still, developing, trying to find community and ties and stuff here. So, y'all are my hangouts when I need someone to talk to. My social circle, so to speak. Y'all are. So, now, which one? Okay, so this one I had to start off with first. I cannot believe the condition it is in. I have never seen this book. It typically retails for $30 in the US, 20 in the UK, and 40 in Canada. And because this was a used copy that was dropped off, it was 15. And listen, you can solid book, and the art. I mean, it's just my tastes have just really, really changed. So this book is called. It's by Willow Wincham. The Story of Witches, Folklore, History, and Superstition. And look at the gold gilding on this book. Look at the beautiful purples. Look at that artwork. Oh, this is beautiful. We have a little picture of Maiden Mother Crone back there. And this is basically witches, whether demonic and deviant. And speaking of deviant, I have a little plug here for Miss Selena. She uploaded a video today on a deck by, I believe, the Deviant Moons. I can never remember his name, but the artist. So I know that Selena has posted a video of a walkthrough, I think, of one of his decks. So, all right, whether demonic or deviant or liberated and revered, have walked among us for centuries. And so it says here, meet the witch in many guises, from shape-shifting hairs to Baba Yaga, the atrocities of the witch trials to the advent of Wicca. Joining through these pages as we explore the compelling and enigmatic story of the witch. And the author is Willow Wincham, is a historian of witchcraft, specializing in English witchcraft cases. She is author of Accused British Witches Throughout History and England's Witchcraft Trials. And I typically avoid those books because I basically know what they're going to be talking about. It gets me angry, it gets me upset, and it really bothers me. And so I try to, prevent myself from getting into watching things or reading things that kind of get me all heated up and weird. But to look at this here, it was a smaller book, the artwork, so I figured I'm just gonna go with it, and it would be a great maybe topic for some of these out of this book for maybe some Friday nights with Allison, or when I do a pop-up and need a topic to talk to. And it says here, the author, Willow, is also co-founder of hashtag Folklore Thursday, a popular hashtag that brings fascinating tales and traditions from all corners of the globe to its followers. So yes, and we open it up, and we have Artemis represented, or possibly Diana. And so I just absolutely love the font. I love the type. Well, the font, the type. I'm really looking forward to. Oh my God! Look at this. Look at that artwork. That's something. That is so cool. I have to find out the artist. Let's see, who is the artist. And who knows? Illustrations by Katie Ponder, Ponder. So I'm curious to see if she may have a deck of herself of her own out. But looking here at the index, Frau Hull is looked at, goddess festivals, Litha, the Sabbats are mentioned, different authors. Um, I mean, this book is just fabulous. We talk about, yep, the Sabbats, and we just sell it. Oh, here we go. From Kununos to the Green Man. There's that one. So yeah, I did this. Oh, and here's the bigger, the Maiden, Mother, and Crone. Love that. And so I'm just really kind of excited getting back into um, my studies and um, oh, how interesting. Margaret Murray in the Myth of the Witch Cult. And here is I think this is a goat. A goat too. Get it? A go to, or the greatest of all time. But anyway, there's some of that artwork. I'm sure Tom could appreciate that too. I'm thinking maybe they're looking at that in the form of maybe the goddess as, cow, but I'm thinking that this might be the balance of the Baphomet. That might be what the artist was trying to, let's see, bladders and pins, talk about witch bottles. Selena, I think you would love this book. I mean, the art itself would make a great tarot deck, oracle deck. I would love to see find about imps pricking and swimming, a discovery of. Oh, then there's a picture of, they did some art of, what they did to women. They said, well, if you died, you weren't a witch, and if you survived, you were a witch, and you're going to get killed anyway. So, not a lot of yeah. Oh yeah, Tom would love this book too. Look at that. And one from NOLA. Oh, New Orleans. I have a witch bottle from Salem. Yep. Those a-holes. Yep. It is what it is. And yeah, there's a picture of the burning times, unfortunately. Oh yeah. I'd be kind of pissed off too and wanting going out looking for blood on that one there, let me tell you. But yeah. This is gonna be interesting. And usually typically, and there we got the cauldron. So that could be maybe representing Carradine as well. I had a past life there. I was Hun. In New Orleans, Hun, or in Salem? Because I know you said you did mention you have one in Salem, and I think that's where you and hubby knew each other too. I think you said in a past life was Salem. Oh, and for those who work with Hecate, there you go. I'll have to maybe send that to Nancy because Hecate's been popping up lately on our channel with Nancy. And so, yeah, that, I mean, the book is in excellent condition. Even has a little ribbon, purple ribbon. And I was like, oh, hell no, I'm not passing up on this. So, I'm going to take a sip. It's a witchy goddess day, people. Hecate is also my girl. Yep. So, and a lot of times I have books catch my attention by the artwork. If I see something beautiful on the front cover, I'm like, ooh, what is this? And so the next one is Devoted. It's called Devoted to You. It's by Judy Harrow, author of Wicca Covens, and it's honoring deity in Wiccan practice. And I love the artwork on that cover. Her face is beautiful. The artwork, her eyes just draw me right in. She's absolutely beautiful. The first book, okay, it's called The Story of Witches, and the author is Willow Winsham, Winsham. Sometimes what Shan gets called when they tell him, he tells people his name. Sham? No, Shan. But yes. I mean, it's typically, like, again, it's $29.95. You know what? I'm going to see what year this came out. This would also make a good book, maybe too, at some point for junk journaling. where when you read the history and you don't want to kind of focus on that energy, putting artwork or putting poems and things in there. Um, so let me see if I can find what year. I think they actually put that information in the back. They did. They put that information in the back of the book. Usually it's the front. So this just came out last year. The Selena, you beat me to it, girl. So yes, this book just came out last year. So yeah, I love that. Love it, love it, love it. And so on to the next, on sale for 22 and on Amazon. And then we have the Judy Harrow book, Honoring Deity in Wiccan Practice. And I'm going to learn more about how people perceive and work with deity. And I know Anubis is mentioned here. It says modern paganism is a religion of choice when it allows for devotion to different gods and goddesses. Now, Judy Harrow and 3 other modern pagan elders tell of their religious observances and show how fostering deep connections can work in your life too. Let's see, explaining their intense workings with specific deities corresponding to the Wiccan wheel of the year, Alexei Kondrativ, Tiv, Kondra. I'm thinking of how they pronounce um, that one city in Ukraine, Kiev. So I'm thinking Kondratiev writes on Bridget, Jeffrey W. Miller on Anubis, and Maureen Reddington Wild on Aphrodite, and Harrow on Gaia. And it's interesting. I've never been drawn to Aphrodite. I think it was so much of her pretty pictures of, oh, she's blonde, she's thin, she's sexy, or this or that. It's all about, for me, as I've gotten older, I know I've changed. When I was younger, in my 20s, when the hormones were racing, their hormones were flaring, the thing is always, wanting to have, we're adults here, wanting to have sex, and when is our going to be, we're going to see our boyfriend next time. When are we going to have, an orgasm and all that fun stuff. But for me lately, it's just, I've taken a big step back and I'm looking and I think more connecting with goddesses and deities that more of, they can still embrace that at any age, of course. But for me, I'm less of the sex goddesses, the sex magic, and and this is just me, you know. Um, and who knows, maybe something might change in a few years or so. Who knows? But I'm interested in reading what Jeffrey talks about on Anubis, which is very interesting. And it says here, from the myths and stories surrounding each deity to rituals and exercises for their adoration, suggestions for personal retreats, vision quests, and dream work. But I think I've seen other deities also mentioned that were like associated with these. But here, a lot of this on Bridget. Wow. And written in Gaelic. So, yeah, this may be a book I'll keep. So he mentions a dictionary for especially for Anubis. They talk about also Anpu was actually the ancient Egyptian name for Anubis, which is interesting. So yeah, very interesting reads here. Yes. So wonderful. Another wonderful. I just can't talk and speak more highly and how wonderful this bookstore is that we have in town. And now this one here, I think this is a newer one. Let's see, it says this book is dedicated to the witches within, to our ancestors, parents, and step-parents, our families, chosen families, our partners, helpers, teachers, and loves, to May Marigold, a magical future, and to all those who go looking. And this book came out in, wow, they include so much more information than when 2021. So only about 4 years ago, and it's called Missing Witches, Recovering True Histories of Feminist Magic by Risa Dickens and Amy Turok. So another, again, purple. Lots of purple today. So that is the cover. It's talking about feminist magic. That has my attention. From Harlem to Haiti, from Oaxaca to Mesopotamia. They introduce readers to witch ancestors like Monica Sidru, Blavatsky, Maria Sabina, and Anna Duana. So shedding light on their work and the cultural and socio-political context that shaped it. Each chapter includes offerings that incorporate the author's own wisdom, histories, and journeys of trauma, loss, and empowerment. And that's for 10. Oh, wow. How much should I pay for it? Oh, I still got a good deal. Mine was $9. But yeah, this is really interesting. Oh, and this might interest Miss Tarot D. I'll have to send a picture of this to Miss Tarot D. And it says here, it was a what do you call that when they acknowledge? It's like an acknowledgement on the back. And it says here, Amy and Risa are the witches I was missing. Join them and discover powerfully creative yet complicated witches whose storied tales were almost lost to time. From Jinx Monsoon, drag artist and winner of RuPaul's Drag Race. So a lot of other people that are speaking highly of this book. So yeah, this is going to be very interesting. I say that a lot. Oh, I like this, but here we go. When you start looking for witches, you find them everywhere. As seekers and practitioners reclaim and restore magic to its rightful place among powerful forces for social, personal, and political transformation, more people than ever are claiming the identity of witch. But our knowledge of witchcraft and magic has been marred by erasure, sensationalism, and sterilization. The true stories of history's witches left untold. So, yeah, this is going to be a very good book. I'm looking forward to reading these. And I'll let you know too, Selena. But I just really am resonating. Oh, they mention, so in here they're going to be talking to Marija Jimbutis and Z Budapest. I wonder if they're still alive. A lot of people don't know who Marija Jimbutas and Z Budapest is. They were women too back in the 60s and 70s, leading the way for goddess spirituality and writing about archaeological finds and things, like Rian Eisler, looking into the archaeology and studying, trying to trace back, the beginning of goddess worship in ancient civilizations. There are some that claim that, there was, this golden age of peaceful goddess worship. And then there are others too in the same community that say that that's kind of like a rainbows and unicorn look on, because of knowing, human behavior and human, the nature of being human. So there's kind of a dichotomy of, what some people say, what truly happened and what wasn't. But a lot of these earlier female authors did research and talked about and had books and pictures on, figurines and statues and how far back they dated. So, excuse me. Hello, Jacqueline. Everybody Mingled Unicorn. I met yesterday. I think it was through Ginger Faye, when we did the Sacred Feminine Within. That is Mangled Unicorn. Hello, Jacqueline. Good to see you, my dear. And so, yeah, just popping on and sharing some wonderful books that I came across today. I wonder if Starhawk might be in here. You don't get to see her name too often. So they're mentioning Monica Saju. She sounds familiar, but I don't know if I recognize her. Doreen Valente. I do recognize that name. Um, so these are going to be some new people for me, but Marija Jimbutas, I remember her. And there is a wonderful documentary that I got to see in college in my 20s in my women in religion class that a Franciscan nun taught, Dr. Ferguson and Marianne Ferguson. And I think it came out around 90. And I think if you type in or Google or go into YouTube, it might be on YouTube. Goddess documentary 1990. It should pop up, and they had the earlier music of Lorena McKenna in there, and they came and they were talking to women from around the world about the goddess. They had a dinner where women from all different cultures were there that were represented, at the table, and it was the first documentary or anything that I saw really that introduced me to Wicca and goddess worship. And I actually was wearing today my t-shirt that says feminism is for everyone. And when I go out, it's like, some people don't even look at me, don't even, make any sort of, some people that are like, they go like that, or nice shirt, and I'm like, thank you. And then there's some people that just kind of scowl at me. But I was in the supermarket with Shan today, and this guy was working, and he was taking this thing of stock, for stocking, and he stopped me and he goes, "Hey, I like that T-shirt." And I said, "Oh, thank you." And he goes, "Yeah, yeah." He goes, there's a lot of people like myself that when we earlier on, he says, when we heard the word feminism, we thought that was only for for women, and goes, "You ladies," he goes, "but when I looked into it," he goes, "I realized how men are a part of it too." And I said, "Yeah." And we had this wonderful conversation, and I think he was the first male ever to acknowledge my T-shirt, and to acknowledge how he understands that feminism is for everybody, because father there are men that will have men who will have daughters, sisters, wives, and friends that you know um have a lot of rights, and that come in, that is the equality that is needed. Why is it I can't seem to piece my words together today? But not having that same equality and rights and everything, and how important that is. And he actually stopped me in the supermarket today at Albertsons and acknowledged that with me, and I thought that was wonderful. I had to share that too. So, but I guess this is like a feminist look at magic, and this may be, aside from the other book, this may be the one I go to next. So Jacqueline, I went to a local bookstore that sells new and used, and I got Missing Witches today. I got Devoted to You, looking at several different Wiccan covens and how they work with their deity, and this amazing hardcover book called The Story of Witches. It's all purple and gilded and really beautiful. And my book on by Kandinsky on abstract art. So these 4 books under $40. And I actually had to put a couple more back. There was another Marcela Lobos. I don't know if it's Marcelina. Is it when you pronounce a Mexican name? I don't know if the C is hard or soft. Her name is Marcela. I don't know if it's Marcella or Marcella. Her last name is Lobos. She is actually has worked with, and I didn't realize she was married to Veloto. I can't think of his name right now offhand, but they've worked with Colette Baron on a couple of their decks, The Mystic Shaman. And she's got another book out called something, following the magic of the Andean circle or something. I almost grabbed that, but I'm still working on her shamanic one that I have. And then of course I found it's pronounced Marcella. So it's a soft C. Okay. Thank you. And hey Beth. And I put back a Lori Cabot. And it was just like, it's the same information that was going to be listed in these books. And I'm like, I wasn't never really foul Lori Cabot, but that is a gem. If it's still there at some point, I'll go back and get that. Alberto Veloto. So yes, I'm enjoying this time now where I can sit on a nice couch, relax, and be able to read my books. And Beth, I have to show you really quick some books I got today, and these were used from the Ashland Book Exchange. I got this. The artwork in here just is incredible. I got this one, Beth. I love her picture. I just absolutely love that face. Um, Missing Witches, Feminist Magic, and a book on Vanzilla Kandinsky concerning the spiritual and arts. So, and I just saw DBT, and you've got my attention, Jacqueline, because up until I left New York, I was taking groups for DBT and CBT. So let me back up here a little bit. Here we go. I got a DBT therapy workbook and the Soul's Journey, my current reads. Nice. Yeah, the DBT, the mindfulness. Oh my goodness. Willingness versus willfulness, interpersonal relationships. Girl, I have been through all of those groups and they really are helpful. Even after taking it once, I would, continue to take them over. They're great. They've been a great help to me in my life. I highly recommend, learning about DBT and CBT. And Mama Sushi is here. Journey of Souls. I wonder what book that is. Who is the author? Jacqueline. Let me grab my where's my notebook? I just had my notebook over here. Here. I've got a piece of paper. So let's see, what else did I miss? The Spanish language is wonderfully phonetic. Let's see, the other pronunciation sounds more Italian. The Marcella. Yeah, I'm no linguist either. Let's see, Michael Newton. Michael. Yes, that's my Mozzie, if y'all can hear that. So the name of the book is, let me just back up again. Journey of Souls. I'll have to take a look at that one. Alrighty. What? Do you have to come in? Oh my goodness. He's gonna meow, y'all. You know this. Every time I get on. Come here. You want to come say hi? Come say hi to everybody. Come here. Oh, and this boy got some treats today. Some crunchy turkey treats where he just inhaled them. So here we go. There's Monty. Want to say hi? Say hi to everybody. I don't think Jacqueline saw you yesterday. She knew. Say hi, boo. This is my 15-year-old beautiful black baby. Yes. Gonna be a good boy? You gonna be a good boy? Let's see what else we got going on here. Alrighty. Can't believe I've been on for 45 minutes already. Or 40 minutes already. My goodness. Alrighty. Michael Newton. Yeah, you're Jamazi. It's like saying, Mom. Exactly. Dita Matthew, is that your auntie? Is that your auntie Selena? Yes. Let's see. And what else did Jacqueline share? Did intake family origin stuff. It was a lot. I was going to start therapy next week. Well, that's good. Got a letter today. They're not covered anymore. Good Lord. You know, girl, I just went through the same thing. I was signed up for a new therapist counselor here, and I was seeing her for about 4 weeks. We're starting to get into personal stuff and my history and whatnot, which isn't the easiest thing to, I mean, I share stuff here, but this is, other deeper stuff. And then she tells me, guess what? She goes, they put your information wrong, your medical information wrong, and I can't see you until I get my Medicare license, and she doesn't know when that's going to be. So I have a standby that I get to see for maybe once a month, but don't give up, girl. When you find the right one, trust me. Um, well, for me at least, it made a difference. It gave me some, and for a while it took, because some places where we go, you gonna get down? Okay. I think mostly he just, because it's almost dinner. That's why he went in here. Um, because when I went through the hospital, and the hospital, the doctors are, are all Medicaid, covered doctors. So sometimes I would have a counselor for a year. I had one for only 2 months, and then I had another one that was only for a couple sessions because they ended up in getting another job. But my last one, Kathy, oh my God, she ended up I am telling her things that not even Shan knows. Nobody knows. And I had to say goodbye to her when I left. I reach out to her at the office every now and then to say hi, but I had her for like 7 years. And so it's hard, but once you do find the right person, the counseling does help. We all have mental health people. And of course, YouTube, I am not a licensed professional. This is just me speaking about my experiences and acknowledging something that's fact. We all have mental health, and it's very important that we maintain and find people to help us through moments that we do have. Let's see. Can't you still use the old therapist over Zoom? You mean the one here in in Oregon? I can't, because it would be considered Medicare fraud if she saw me in any way before she got her Medicare license. So the therapist I had in New York, I was allowed to see her for a month after I left. Yeah, the one I had to say, yeah, I got to see Kathy. They let me see her for about a month through telehealth, and to make sure that things stayed on a professional level for her license and everything. I'll email her at the office from time to time. She helped me get my she wrote my thing for me to help me make Mozzie my emotional support animal so that I could have him here at the new place. So yeah, it's good. It's just Medicare. Yeah, they are super strict, and her name is M. Well, her name is Emily, but she prefers EM. And she says she doesn't have much longer school wise because she does it like computer, like you do, Selena. Um, but it does. We don't know now how long it's going to take for a license to go through because of numbnuts and his administration. So she goes, it may take, only a month or two, she said, or it can maybe take up to 6 months. So at least, they made the mistake of putting my information in wrong. So at least they're, letting me, do this until, we can figure that all out. Um, I have Medicare because of my disabilities and gap insurance still jumping through way. Yeah, it is very frustrating. I understand, Jacqueline. If you ever need someone to talk to, a fellow peer, just email me. I have it took me 4 years to get my SSDI, and talk about having to jump through hoops and stuff that you had to go through. And just it's been a while, and you know I understand, especially now with moving to a different state, or even if you're in the same state, you move to a different county. Sometimes it takes a while for things to work itself out. Um, let's see. They gave me what's this? They gave me a referral for an in-lab sleep study. Oh, so for like what's the word when they watch how you sleep for like sleep apnea, um, sleep studies. 3 years to get. Yep, yep. Shan can barely walk, and they told him, "No, you can work. Just take a couple of pain pills, and you'll be fine." He can't walk without a cane. How's he supposed to go and do janitorial work and stuff? I mean, it's ridiculous. Um, it's disgusting, really. You know, we're like supposed to be the leading country, and I'm gonna go off on a tangent here, but we're a leading country when it supposedly in the world, and we're supposed to lead by example. And yeah, we don't do jack shit anymore. Um, oh, you're narcoleptic. Yeah, CPAPs. Yep, they wanted me to do that, and I already have issues sleeping. So my thing is, I if I'm not careful with what I eat or drink before I go to bed, or if I lay a certain way at night, I'll wake up with the acid coming up, up my throat and stuff, and ugh, that's awful. That's nasty. But narcoleptic, oh my goodness, dear. Gasoline, don't get me started. Yep. And Beth said, Heather, we're an industrialized country, but we haven't been lean. Yeah. Yep. Exactly. We've just kept going downhill. However, I will say, despite women's, issues being attacked here with, like I said, with numbnuts in his administration right now, I would rather still be living here in America as a woman than in some other countries in the world where women have absolutely no rights, where they can't even show their face. They have to be covered up. They're treated as, I mean, I know there's women that are treated here like property, but you know what I mean. At least here in this country, I do have a certain amount of rights still. And yeah, yep. But there are, like I said in the beginning, when that young man stopped me, and he was good looking too. When this young man stopped me in the store and told me he liked my T-shirt that said "Feminism is for everyone," and he wanted to stop and let me know that, hey, I used to be one of the ones that didn't get it until I researched it and I realized really how important it is and how I can be a part of it. I mean, it was just mind blowing. Um, yes. Hmm. There are days when I'm not so proud because of all the stuff that our country does. That's the whole thing, though. And I not again, I don't want to go on a soapbox or go down a rabbit hole, but we watched enough documentaries and things on TV. And, we have been a country that has instigated wars in other countries to get resources, claiming that it's for, we're liberating people, or we're, helping people become, democracy. And a lot of it is just, a lot of it is lies. And there's just so much, you know, bad stuff that our country, our government and military does that like other other countries will do. And so it's there it yeah. Some days are harder than others. I strive to stay in my middle. Yeah, that's where I try to, we see the things in the government and the military, and the dark ops and the dark government that does. And people can say conspiracy theorists, but there's just too many things going on in the world that for people who say there's nothing wrong to, it's a game of chess. Exactly. Especially what our intelligence agencies will do. People being silenced, the sacrifice, some few innocents for the greater good. They silence other people from getting information out and stuff and whatnot. So yeah, it's pretty dark what our national security people will do. And at the same time, the men and women who go in there really thinking that they are doing something, I'm sure they are. But then there are those that probably go in there, and I'm just like, and they're like, wow, just like with military and stuff. Shan had his experiences, Stephen, Cosmic Orphan. He's, talked briefly about some of his negative experiences when it comes to bureaucracy and red tape and stuff with the militaries and stuff and whatnot. But you know, still, all in all, I'm proud to be an American. Really, well, I'll say I'm proud, but I'm still. It's weird because when people say proud, because there's been so many people, Selena, and anybody who's watching, and like Steven says, don't come after me, but that slogan is used so much by people um, here and what I saw back home in New York. They say that with their AK-47 Second Amendment rights, saying that they deserve to have AKs and all this other stuff, and the Trump supporters and things and stuff and whatnot. That patriarch mentality that and there are days when it's just, I don't know if I necessarily want to say I'm proud, but yes, I was just going to say that I'm great. I'll say I'm grateful and I'm thankful. I'll be proud when everybody has the same rights. Exactly. Yes. So, and it's our jobs to, keep ourselves in a good place mentally and, you know, mentally, spiritually. And let's see what else I meant. But I tell Spirit thanks for the main things. Exactly. Aunt Jackie, I don't always say this like I was every morning, but Jackie's Crystal Moon, taught me an affirmation. Every day, in every way, my life keeps getting better and better. Even on days where it feels like I'm hitting a wall and I'm like, what now? Or, what's next? Or how do I just remind myself that. And then again, like you said, Jacqueline, just being grateful. I'm like, okay, I got food in my fridge. I got a nice bed to sleep in now. I have a roof over my head. I'm not living at that shithole that I came from, Shannon and I, in Niagara Falls. And so whatever obstacles come our way here, we can face them. We can deal with them. I'm I'm smacking my singing bowl more now. Well, we don't want to smack it. We want to gently run our mallet around it to make a pretty sound. We smack too hard, you might break it, but I know what you mean, sweetheart. I have to let karma. That's another thing too. I'm just wondering if there really is such thing as karma, and I think there is, but not the way we tend to think. Excuse me. It will work out. And yes, Fatima, always keep the faith. This too shall pass. Yeah. Exactly. Got to keep the faith. No matter what faith you believe in or what faith you follow. Exactly. So, um, but yeah, I want to come on and share my books. And yeah, I was so excited to find them. And yeah. So we are at the hour. And I have now, after this, I have 6 hours left. I think maybe five before my time um, for my free StreamYard, my 20 hours. So tomorrow, Jackie's Crystal Moon and I will be back at 11 a.m. PT Pacific time, which will make it 1, 11, 12. I'm still doing the 3 hour. It's like 1, 2. So 2 p.m. Eastern time. We'll be looking at the King of Pentacles, which will bring our Pentacle Court to a close. I'm not sure which suit we're going to address next, but we'll be doing the King of Pentacles tomorrow. Um, Girl, I hear you. Love and light to all. Yeah, I mean, I try to have, you know, I just shake my head when I see those stickers and things and flags and stuff on some of these people's cars, or they go in the store with their shirts on and they're probably walking around, I'm a mega. I'm like, yeah, okay, well, you know, love to you, light to you. And like I was saying with Steven the other night, when we drove across country, especially we went through a lot of red states, we saw people friendly, um, welcoming us, wishing us a safe trip. Um, People from all races were coming in and out of some of those places. So just, again, like with DBT and mindfulness, being mindful of, what we hear or see on TV to what we experience and what we feel inside is right. And Jacqueline, it's finding that wise mind, right? In the middle where you have the rational basically and the emotional and bring them together for that wise mind. So yeah, I get it. So Wednesday tomorrow, Jackie's Crystal Moon and I at 11. Um, and then Friday, Allison and I believe Allison and I will be back. She's been doing tarot learning lessons with Stephen, Cosmic Orphan, on Friday nights as well. So I'm not sure if we're going to be switching back and forth bi-weekly or not. So her and I are going to be talking about that this weekend and coming up with some topics to discuss when we do go live. And Selena said, good and bad people in general, regardless what political, yes. So I try to hold some sense of compassion, for some of these folks and just, ask spirit for love, show them the way, help them, be kind maybe when they feel like they don't want to be kind. Maybe they'll get that little nudge from spirit saying, or in their own heart, you know, that this isn't right. Maybe, step back just for today, maybe. The middle way, I believe in it strongly. Yeah. And I know there's a full moon coming up. Selena, the last time I did a full moon reading, I think it was with you. We did the Sisters of the Moon. I know I did a new moon a couple weeks ago, but I hear there's a full moon coming up. Miss doing shows with you, girl. At some point, we got to do something. And let's see, Jacqueline said, some days I'm carrying a stick and everyone looks like a pinata. Oh my goodness. Yes. Jacqueline, before I go, there's people remember the show Elementary that was on CBS. They had a good run. It was like 7 years. We're rewatching it now for free on Prime because I really needed captions, with Miller's, accent and how fast they talked and some of the big words that they used on the show. I needed the captions, and so we've been watching it. And there is a so the show when he wants to let stuff out, he grabs his sticks and he attacks the stump and he goes, and they spend. When you said you had your pinata, your stick, and everybody was a pinata, I was thinking of him smacking. Yep, Lucy Lou. It's Darla's birthday. Oh, today's Lexi's birthday today. I didn't know it was Lexi's. I thought Lexi's. Oh my God, I'll have to go wish her happy birthday. Oh my goodness, happy birthday to Darla. And Jacqueline, if you're wondering who Darla is Selena's little pity mix who has Addison's. And she is a gorgeous, beautiful, sweet little pity mix girl I have ever seen. So I think if you go to go to Selena's channel. She posts videos that and on Instagram. So lots of love to Darla. Let's see. I would sniff. Oh my God, TMI, but okay. So August 9th, which is my cousin's. Oh, that's the full moon. August 9th. Oh my God. I'll have to see if I can find pictures of my cousin Louise. That's her birthday. That she would have been 50. She would have been 55 because she had 4 months on me with our birthdays. So yeah, my cousin Louise would have. For people who don't know, my cousin Louise, when she was 16, this is going back to 1988. She was hit and killed by a car, a reckless driver. And so I've always missed her. I think of her often. So August 9th, I always celebrate her. I play Michael Jackson. I try to play Prince, Aha, all the music that we love together. So, yep. Good night, Beth. Thank you for popping in. And then 8/8 is Lionsgate. So, oh my goodness. And let's see. Oh, babies. I have an apple-headed blonde Chihuahua puppy, 1 year, and a 10-year-old white Chihuahua Jack Russell Terrier mix. Oh my goodness. Oh, Miss Tarot D is going to love you when she hears that you got Chihuahuas. So, um, all right. So, everybody, thank you again for hanging out with me for an hour while I shared my books, and I love having conversations with y'all. And be sure to head over and wish Miss Luscious Lexi a happy birthday. I am going to do that now, and we will see hopefully some of y'all tomorrow during our show for the Key to Pentacles. So, everyone, have a great night, and we will see you later. Bye. Oops. That's not saying goodbye. That was me opening up the app again. Woo-hoo. There we go.